Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's Soul Search interview with our luminary, Terry Brussel-Rogers. I'm Tangela Islam, the founder of Soul Search, and I am excited to welcome all of you to this interview. Soul Search is an online platform for spirituality and consciousness. We support people in finding and connecting with spiritual and energetic practitioners, healers, teachers, and guides who can support them on their journey for transformation and development. And we're so excited to have one of our Soul Search luminaries with us today, Terry Brussel-Rogers, who'll be speaking about how to build a successful hypnotherapy, coaching, and healing practice. Terry Lee Brussel-Rogers is the director of Success Center Incorporated. She is the creator of the 7 Keys to Self-Actualization and the 7 Key turnkey system for building a successful hypnosis, healing, or coaching practice. She has been in private practice since 1969 and has taught other healers, coaches, and hypnotists to use her methods since 1995. It is her mission to help her clients reach their highest potential in areas physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual, as well as financial. For hypnotists, healers, and coaches, the mission statement becomes: we reach our highest potential by helping others reach theirs and make an excellent living doing that, which is what we all want, correct? So thank you so much, Terry, for joining us today. We're excited to have you here with us.
Thank you.
So, Terry, you've been in business since 1969, which is incredible. Tell us a little bit about your background.
Well, the reason I've been in business since 1969 is because my dad caught me hypnotizing the neighborhood kids when I was 13. And I became the youngest student ever to be accepted at the Hypnosis Motivation Institute. I went there and graduated, and I went twice a week on Wednesdays and Saturdays, I believe, for a couple of years. And then I graduated in May of 1969, turned 16, June 15th of 1969, and started my business.
Amazing.
And in our family, the spiritual healing abilities are passed from generation to generation. My father and grandmother both taught me how to do that sort of thing from the time I was 5. And so this was very much accepted in my family and encouraged. Now, in addition to that, the beauty of this and the way I can help other hypnotherapists, coaches, and healers build their practice is my dad owned an advertising agency for 50 years. He was the one who started the hula hoop craze in the 50s, Barry Leon Brussel, Whammo's advertising man. So I, knew marketing in my baby bones from the time I was a kid. When I was 11 years old, I told my dad I wanted a bicycle, and he gave me a Yellow Pages. And I said, "Well, I'm going to find my book and my bike in the Yellow Pages." He said, "No, you're going to trade for advertising." And I did. I got him the Raleigh Bicycle Company at the age of 11, and I got a Raleigh bicycle out of it. He got a good client out of it.
That's fantastic. So you've always had that balance between the spiritual and the business.
Yes, always. And the about my background and my recent background, like right now, is that I was recognized for having 5 decades in this business by the California Assembly, got a big award for it at a Chamber of Commerce gala, my chamber that I've been with for over 5 decades, the Greater San Fernando Valley Chamber of Commerce.
Congratulations.
Exciting stuff.
You have been supporting people for a long time. And so what is the 7 keys to self-actualization that you've developed?
Well, it's a systematic program of problem resolution and personal growth, which enables my students and clients to achieve their highest potential physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and of course, financially. I also created the 7 Key turnkey system based on that. It has the 7 Keys to Self-Actualization at its center. And that's for helping hypnotherapists, coaches, and healers build their practices.
Great. And so what are some of the ways a hypnotherapist, healer, or coach can build their practices, which you have used successfully?
Well, we offer planned multiple session packages, which help a hypnotherapist or coach's clients to reach their highest potential in every area of their lives. They do more sessions with the hypnotist or a coach or healer. And that means that it makes your advertising and outreach provide a much better return on investment. One thing I learned from my dad was the only way to make your advertising and outreach pay, whether that's going to soul search conventions or, having an ad in the LA Times, is to provide so much value to your clients that it pays for itself several times over. Now,
Mm,
according to our surveys, since 1995 in the US, the UK, Canada, Ireland, and Australia, the average hypnotherapist, coach, or healer is doing about 4 to 6 sessions per client. They raised it up to 7 in 2018, but we're back to 5.5 in 2021. That's because the average hypnotherapist is dealing only with the presenting issue. The
mm,
average number of sessions at Success Center is 20 sessions the first year, 32 if you count more than 1 year. And we
mhm.
do this not by giving the client more sessions than they need, but by rapidly healing the presenting issue and moving on to fascinating growth programs to change all
Wow.
these different things in their lives. The special knowledge of the particular hypnotherapist that's working with them can be very important, because
Mhm.
my background is in the areas that I've mentioned, but a hypnotherapist with special knowledge in another area can use the wide variety of Success Center scripts to do more sessions with their own clients. The 7-key turnkey system also includes ways to get leads for professional practice,
Mm.
including like your expos, which are wonderful for that, by the way. I've never seen a psychic show that did better for us, frankly.
That's
And
wonderful. Thanks, Terry.
I mean, the Conscious Life Expo, I'm accepting that. That's a huge show. But a
Sure.
regular psychic show, like I thought yours was,
Yes.
has never done anything like that for us. It was terrific. Um,
Wonderful. I'm glad to hear it. So our marketing is working as well.
it is working, you bet. Anyway, my system has in it ways to follow up on the leads that you get at the shows while learning how to sell your services so you can help others and make an excellent living doing it.
That's
So
great. That's great. I think that's so important. What you mentioned is supporting practitioners to, build the number of sessions they're doing with clients by providing value. It's not about just, oh, let me stack on sessions, but it's like, how can I continue helping my clients to keep them?
exactly. There are some therapists that become kind of professional friends, and somebody comes back to them week after week after week. We don't do that. They've got a complete roadmap and we follow it to give them the tools they need to reach their goals. And then there are
Great.
others who do this 4 to 6 sessions per client, and they're the ones who really need to learn plan multiple session packages. The whole
Sure.
key is being able to tell them what they'll be doing on their 5th session, their 10th session, their 50th session. If you can do that, then they're going to sign up for more sessions. We average 20. But
Okay, that's
you can't
great.
do that unless you've got a plan.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And so one of your keys deals with metaphysics. Do you have anything unique there?
I sure do. Metaphysical reparenting is actually my jewel of such training. I had a
Mm,
couple of clients come in for relationship coaching, which I gave them. But I always do a full write up on anybody coming into me, even if it's for quitting smoking or whatever it is, they get a full write up for reaching their highest potential in every area of their lives. It turned out that these two were working with the Monroe Institute, one of the most advanced metaphysical centers in the US.
mhm.
And then my metaphysical reparenting regression is a life script rewrite, which takes the client back to a time of conception. So they're actually raised from that time by parents who teach them shielding and spiritual abilities and psychic abilities and astral projection and so forth. After it, the client has full memory of that regression along with the memories of the life they actually led in this reality. They're able
Mm.
to use all that knowledge and experience they got during the regression in this reality. The couple I worked with saw their scores on everything from remote viewing to distance healing, precognition, etc., go way up after this regression. And since then, I've used it on people of all levels of psychic development, and it really increases their ability to use that ability, that psychic ability.
That's incredible. So actually supporting people in developing their intuitive and psychic capabilities is part of your work as well.
Oh yes, I help them. I help my clients do it, and I help the hypnotist to have something very special to offer that they're not going to be able to find elsewhere.
Sure.
They can't go to a psychiatrist for that, or a psychologist, or generally even a business coach. Nothing. We do it.
Exactly. And so what kind of spiritual training do you offer to clients and other healing professionals?
Well, past life regressions, psychic development, astral projection, psychometry, spiritual healing has been really part of my program since pretty close to the beginning. I have scripts for all of those, as well as that metaphysical reparenting regression.
So that's
So,
incredible. So you're doing so much more than hypnosis. It's a
oh, yeah.
piece, it's a piece of what you do, but then you're offering a lot more.
Yeah, I offer coaching. I find that, coaching and hypnotherapy work very well together, which we'll get to in a moment.
Mhm.
Anyway, healing professionals can develop their own metaphysical abilities and have others to do it by using these scripts.
Okay, great. And so you talk about past life regression a bit. What does a client get out of past life regression, and what kind of session would you use as one way to build your practice?
Well, they're able to regain past life knowledge and experience useful in this life. I
Mm,
had a client very early in my early 20s who came in for help with speaking, public speaking. He was in a speaking class and he was getting up and kind of stumbling over his words. He was very nervous and so forth. So I helped him to be more confident and relaxed when he got in front of a group.
mm.
Then, just for the fun of it, he did a past life regression. Well, the past life regression turned out to show that he'd been an elder statesman in a past life. He was a
Really?
superb public speaker, smooth, moved the crowd, everything. And when he went back to his class with that knowledge and experience, the teacher tried to throw him out for a hoax because it was impossible that the same person who'd been stumbling over his words was suddenly this amazing speaker. So I actually had to alibi him to the teacher and convince her to let him stay around as a teacher's assistant, helping the other students to speak better. They did.
That is amazing. And I love that you brought up that example, because that's actually one of the things that can happen through past life regression is when we connect to our past lives, we're actually able to connect to these gifts that we hold
Exactly.
latent
Exactly.
in us.
Now, we
Mm.
also go to a time between lives where you know your life mission, consult with spirit guides, your higher self, the souls you'll be with this time around, find out what you're here for and how to manifest that into reality. So we have
Mm.
different ways of doing it and finding a soulmate in the past life. And I have lots of different ways of doing these things.
That's incredible. And
I
you're
have a
able to really,
smorgasbord of it.
I see that. And you're able to really share these different skill sets with practitioners. So there may be a hypnotist, but he or she may not be, offering past life regression now. But if they're interested, that is something that you can be working with them to add into their
Definitely.
work.
Definitely.
Wow. Okay. So that's incredible. So who is your ideal client, and how can a hypnotist, coach, or healer discover that for their own practice?
Well, I have a couple of different ideal clients. One is the
Mhm.
spiritual entrepreneur or spiritual hypnotherapist who owns his own business. That's because my own
Mhm.
background and what I have done with it forges a bond between me and such people. My years of
Mhm.
study, what they need to learn, make me the best expert they can go to for both building up a professional practice and for learning how to provide more value to their clients. I also have an ideal client that is interested in polyamory. I've written a book, 50 Years of Polyamory in America, a guided tour to a growing movement with my best friend from high school, Glenn Olson. And
Mhm.
the people that are in poly relationships or want to be come to me for help with intimacy without jealousy and various things that help them to expand their network and have more communication and compassion and what we call compersion within their group, actually enjoying their partner's relationships with others. So that's another ideal client. And then I'm a matchmaker, fourth generation matchmaker, ran marriage minded introductions for 40 years. So anybody who's looking for the right partner, even if it's just one partner, I'm very used to finding that and helping them to learn how to find their own best match. So
Wow. That's another
I have
unique skill
different
that you have, Terry.
I have, yes, I have several different gifts. And but the idea is that the average hypnotherapist, healer, or coach may also have a very special thing to offer their clients. They may have a background in law. Before becoming a hypnotherapist, coach, or healer, they were a lawyer. Now they can teach law students how to pass the bar or build a more effective law practice. If they're in nursing or were a doctor before, they may be working with doctors and nurses and people like that in the healthcare profession and have special scripts for that. My scripts can be tweaked to make that work too, if they have my system of hypnotherapy, or they can develop their own. I've spent a lot of years developing over 1,000 pages of scripts that work together like a jigsaw puzzle. Whatever their
Wow.
background, they could, go ahead and find their special gifts that they could share with their clients and
Mhm.
do that. And they can share it with other professionals as well.
That's fascinating because a lot of times, people will come to us that are, becoming spiritual practitioners and, they may have had a profession in a completely different industry. So,
Exactly.
you're saying that they don't necessarily have to just dismiss all of that, 5, 10, 20 years of experience, but they can actually utilize it in their new practice.
Yeah, massage therapists are people who really have options there. And I have a whole special program figured out that the right person is going to take hold of and make a fortune with hypnomassage. I actually coined that term back in the 70s.
Wow, that's amazing. And so your company is called Success Center. Um, and you're focused on supporting individuals, whether they're practitioners or, or clients, to really achieve success in all areas of their life.
That's right.
And and you're training or supporting different practitioners, and you may have hypnotists come to you, coaches come to you, psychics come to you. How is combining the different modalities and having them work together more effective than, let's say, just doing hypnotherapy or just doing coaching? What do you see as the big results people can have
Coaching
from it?
can be a little bit like talk therapy, which only reaches the conscious mind. If a client's
Mm,
blocks are on the subconscious level, such as fear of success, for anything from believing they can't make more than their father made or thinking they just don't deserve success, the conscious
mhm,
mind can be stopped by that block, no matter how good the talking therapist or coach may be. On the other hand, getting rid of the blocks to success, whatever they may be, does not replace conscious commitment to making time in your calendar to do the prospecting and, say, lead follow-up needed to build a successful business or private practice. Nor can it replace the sales training and time management skills needed for consistently growing success. Coaching and hypnosis together are the most powerful tool for accomplishing almost any goal. Um,
mhm,
that starts in Success Center with a life guidance discovery session. We
mhm.
set your goals in order of priority based on a very in-depth client intake form that I've developed over the last 50 years, always updating it. We figure
Mhm,
out exactly what steps are necessary to accomplish those goals in terms of hypnosis sessions, books, recordings, coaching, whatever it is you need to get from where you are to where you want to be. It's like a
mhm.
roadmap. You get it in writing. If you're a hypnotherapist taking this session from me, you learn how to make a roadmap for like that for your clients, and the clients will refer to you if you decide to work with us. Then through a private hypnosis session based on your individual roadmap, we instill in your subconscious mind the clarity of purpose, the desire, the determination, the ability to better use the white light
Mm,
necessary to make your goals a reality. It's a very empowering session.
mhm,
Takes about 2.5 hours for the regular client session, 3 hours if it's a hypnotist, coach, or healer session, showing them how to build their practices. Um,
mhm.
and right now at acesuccess.com, they can download as a gift Abundance, Your Money and More Magnet, to bring an abundance of health, wealth, and joy into your life. And if they
Mhm.
do that before 6 o'clock this evening, there's going to be a drawing for somebody to win the $397 client session or the $597 hypnotist, coach, healer session. They have
That's
until
incredible.
6 to
That's an
enter that
incredible
drawing.
offer.
But whether they win the drawing or not, they're getting an abundance recording that's going to bring health, wealth, joy, and clients into their practices.
Wow. So that's great. And so for all of you watching live, definitely take advantage of this opportunity. Go to acesuccess.com to download that meditation and be entered into the free drawing with Terry to do this incredible introductory session. That
And
seems
where
that
it says, "Where did you hear about us?" be sure you put Soul Search there. That puts you in the drawing.
exactly. So make sure you put in Soul Search in that. area. And so you mentioned this special abundance guided meditation. Do you offer recorded guided meditations for other topics? Is it just the abundance meditation? And is there anything special about how you offer these?
There is actually. I've got something pretty unique there too. That life guidance discovery session we were just talking about includes a complete list of suggestions in order of the client's priorities, exactly for them, tailored to their needs. And based on our consultation and so forth. These are placed in a special matrix of abundance and deepening suggestions, which are used to create the client's customized goal manifestation recording, which embeds the client's unique goals into that client's subconscious mind on a continuing basis. So the goals actually manifest into physical reality. It's one of my own most important tools for success and gets very enthusiastic reviews from my clients who use it regularly. Later, I created Reach for the Stars, which is an online streaming program containing guided meditation recordings for reaching your goals in every area of your life, from the physical to the metaphysical, from financial success to relationship joy. It's reachforthestars.today. And those recordings rotate according to a special algorithm, enabling you to hear exactly what you need in order of your priorities while falling asleep and during sleep, until each one is played a total of 21 times. And that's what's needed to turn a suggestion into a positive, new, life-changing habit. And for those who have had a customized goal manifestation recording created for them, that plays every fourth night, and you get 2 recordings a night, or you can set it for 1 recording a night. And if you set it for 2, it takes place 2.5 hours apart. So your sleep rhythms are honored and will be healthy for you. And hypnotists and coaches can use Reach for the Stars to make their clients more successful. And whatever work they're doing, those clients will get better success, and the hypnotist will get paid for sending them along to us as well.
Wow. Okay,
So
that's great.
I haven't seen anything else like this out there, and it's amazing that it just works automatically for people, instead of them having to figure out. When I give them like 20 different recordings, and I used to tell them, well, now you'll have to figure out how many times you've listened to it, and remember to listen to this one next week and this one. So none of that's necessary anymore. Push a button, go to sleep.
Wow. And so really that suggestion is working in your dream state and really helping to shift your subconscious and remove those blocks.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
And for coaches, hypnotists, healers that you work with, what do you find to be the 3 biggest blocks that they're facing? Well,
the first block, which is really important, is that they think they have to be starving healers. If you're a starving healer, all you're teaching is how you can starve. I mean, nobody wants to learn that, right? You can feel good about yourself if you're like a monk, but you don't know. That's not really what you want to demonstrate. You want to demonstrate that you are very successful helping your clients achieve their goals, and therefore you are doing very well for yourself. And not charging more than it's worth, charging what it is worth. Charging a reasonable price for a reasonable service. And I've seen people who are actually tried today. I interviewed somebody today. I do my survey, for since 1995. Somebody was saying, well, I think I'm going to charge $65 for an hour of coaching. When I was 16 years old in 1969, I was charging $75 for an hour session. And, I would give it to them for 4 sessions for $200 or something. But that was back in 1969. Do you know how much has changed since then? And this person was not 16 either. So you need to be charging enough so that you respect yourself and your clients respect your knowledge and your abilities and how long it's taken you to get where you are.
Sure, exactly. I know we see that a lot as probably the number one issue as well. Why do you think that's the case specifically in our healing, community?
Well, people think that when you help people, you should just do it out of the goodness of your heart. Well, you can do it out of the goodness of your heart. And certainly certain people get pro bono sessions from me. If a woman calls me and says, I'm carrying a baby and I can't quit smoking and I don't have money, boy, I'm going to help her whether she can afford it or not. But, you have to pick and choose where you want to to donate your services. And, maybe you want to put in 4 hours a week at a free clinic or something. That's fine. But
Yeah.
that's not your business. Your business is doing a really good service and getting paid what you're worth for it. Right?
Exactly.
Different. Now you said
Exactly.
3 blocks. So
Yes.
another block is thinking they can't make anything more than what their parents made, or what a man with his dad made, or sometimes a woman can't even get it that maybe she has a right to make a good living in business when her mother was a stay-at-home mom. That sometimes this is a block that keeps them from doing it. Then there's also the feeling that if they are giving sessions, they are responsible for the client accomplishing everything, and if the client doesn't accomplish their goals, it was because they messed up and they feel badly about it and so forth. Well, sure, you're responsible for providing a good service, but the example of the client who comes in to stop smoking and you give them stop smoking suggestions, and then they go out into the hallway and light up a cigarette, is the subconscious mind might have been convinced the conscious mind wasn't. And is this the hypnotherapist's fault? I don't think so. The client out there lighting up the cigarette, especially if somebody is foolish enough to offer some guarantee that if they do that, they get their money back, has not won anything. They've won the ability to continue hurting their bodies and shortening their lives, but that's not the hypnotist's responsibility. Everybody is responsible for themselves. When I give a client the formula for self-hypnosis, I say to them, when you learn self-hypnosis, you accept the freedom to do whatever you wish to do, the freedom to be your own master and accomplish your own goals. You accept also the responsibility of knowing that you and you alone are responsible for the state of your own life. Are you willing to accept both the freedom and the responsibility of learning self-hypnosis? And when they say yes, I give them the formula for self-hypnosis. If they say no, we will have a conversation about that afterwards. It rarely happens. But the idea is that you can't keep blaming your parents all your life. You can't blame your hypnotist or your coach or your third grade teacher either. You got to take responsibility for yourself.
Sure, exactly. So, and that's an important point as well, that the client also is a participant in their entire transformation and healing process. And so
exactly. That's
that
why I always teach self-hypnosis.
Interesting. And so tell us a few of your success stories from working with practitioners. What type of practitioners have you? I mean, I know you've worked with hundreds or thousands maybe, but if you
Actually,
could
we've
give
got a
us an
whole list on
example.
my website of all these different things, but for some reason I don't have a lot of them on social media. They give me the information and then I put it on my website, so it's there.
Sure.
I'll
Sure.
give you a couple of examples though. That speaker that I talked about became an attorney and was a very successful attorney, and certainly not like the person who was standing up stumbling over his words. I've also got Glenn Olson, who wrote that book with me on 50 Years of Polyamory in America. I've worked with him a lot over the years, and he retired from the fire department as a captain, and he was having difficulty getting in because of his vision, and he was legally blind without glasses. And through the hypnosis, he was able to qualify to get into the fire department as a paramedic. So that was a great success story. There's David Smith on there, and some of them allow us to use their names, usually just their initials for their privacy.
Sure.
But David Smith came to me and was in corporate America and having issues with that, and wound up learning how to be a successful coach. And he was such a successful coach, they actually gave me business coaching for 20 years based on his background in corporate America. And he did a lot of coaching for other people as well. So there's all kinds of wonderful success stories. I had one client, Elise Mirau, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. She was on Twilight Zone, and she was an actress on Twilight Zone from the work she did with me. It was the first time she actually got onto a show, actually got booked as an actress on a show. So that was really exciting. And another one wrote a play, and for the first time got it again published and on television. He told me that he asked his future self, we invite in the future self, and you can ask questions of your future self and learn things from them. Well, he did that, but he had his future self write the play. His future self wrote the play from his subconscious mind, and that's what he published. So that was really exciting.
That's incredible. And was he able to do that through hypnosis? How did
It
he
was
get into
definitely through hypnosis.
that?
It was through a hypnotic post hypnotic suggestion. He
Incredible. So I mean, I think that's a
because he
great point
asked
that
me,
we
he said, I can get all these questions answered by my future self. Can my future self write the play? And I said, well, I've never had anybody ask me that before. And I said, okay, yes. And I've done it with other writers since then with all kinds of different things besides plays. But there's so
wow. So
much
that's really
information there
interesting
from your
because
higher self and
yeah.
from your past lives and all of that. And you can just combine it all with all those talents and abilities and do the most amazing things.
And is that part of what you're also sharing with the hypnotists, healers, and coaches that come to you to be able to work with their clients and bring in these different
Absolutely.
expertise?
Yes,
Mhm.
absolutely. That's part of the scripts and everything that I offer in my 7-key turnkey system. And
Mhm.
that has in
Mhm.
it not only all these scripts and everything, but it's got a marketing and operations manual for everything from how to hire an office manager right down to, how to pick an office if you want an office. Of course, I've been doing 95% of my business by phone for many, many years, long before the pandemic. I pioneered telephone hypnosis in 1995 just because it worked better. And there were a
Oh,
lot of
really
advantages to that for the hypnotist and the client. So that
interesting.
ways of doing that are in there, and how to write a hypnosis demonstration for a show so it works and actually brings in businesses there, and how to
Mhm.
be at a trade show booth and make that work. And I've got all kinds of ways to do that. And the
Mhm.
first thing you got to learn is you don't have people you don't hand people your business card and think that's going to bring in business, because it's very unlikely to bring in business. You got to get their card, and you got to get more than their card. You've got to get what they're interested in, or you've got nothing to
Oh,
say to them when you call them up on that card. So I've got a lot
sure.
of ways of helping people to do all of this, and how to get
Yeah,
business fixers to pay for you and all of that stuff. I do both
that's
marketing and the hypnotherapy itself. And then they get to exchange sessions with study partners so they can become better and better hypnotherapists. And I've seen amazing results with the people I've worked with.
That's
The
incredible.
truth.
And I like the fact that you brought up the trade shows and all of these other pragmatic elements of being a spiritual entrepreneur, because when you're a healer, a coach, a hypnotist, that is what you are. You're a spiritual entrepreneur, and that means you're building and growing your business and practice. As you mentioned, we have, these psychic and healing fairs all over California and in Arizona. And we do get great traffic because we do a lot of marketing and advertising. And what's interesting to me is that it'll be the same exact show, and a certain number of the healers, psychics will be like, that was the best show ever, it was fantastic, it's been great. And there's always going to be like a few that'll say, come to me and be like, everyone was so busy, but what could I have done better to get more business?
And
And
if they
I
want to
I
know
know
that, they can talk to me, because I can tell them that.
Okay, interesting. So
It's
there's always
800 goal now to accomplish your goal now, 462-5669.
exactly. So if any of you guys watching are amazing soul search practitioners, we have practitioners of all levels, working in all modalities, but so many of you all are really, focused on, of course, growing your business and growing your practice. Terry here has incredible not just expertise and experience, but also an entire system that she has developed for really growing your practice in a long-term way, so that it's not just a one-off training, but really a whole coaching program that not only works on your subconscious mind and your limiting beliefs within, but also actually those pragmatic business tools, tips, steps, as well as scripts and a lot of other tools that you're providing people with.
I must tell you that you are a great interviewer. You really
Thank you.
come across beautifully.
Oh, thank you so much, Terry. So, I mean, this has been fascinating. I mean, I loved, interviewing you. Obviously, Terry's one of our soul search luminaries. She has incredible experience, and, she has so much to offer our community and actually the world at large, just because, people more and more, like you said, Terry, are looking for support beyond the traditional, therapist, beyond the traditional, medical realms, and not to say that there's anything wrong with that. Everyone should go to, where they feel like they'll be getting the support, but more and more people are looking for more support and ways that they can really start addressing what's going on in the subconscious, what's going on due to karmic patterns and issues. And, then you have to go into more of the metaphysical realms, the hypnotist realm, and people are more and more seeking this. That's what we see from our psychic fairs, so you're providing.
By the way, your
supporting.
psychic fair that you've got coming up in Santa Ana, which I would
Yeah.
really love to attend, happens to be happening on Rosh Hashanah. So
Oh no, I
happy
didn't
Jewish New
realize.
Year to all. I
Oh,
checked.
oh no, I'm sorry that it's on Rosh
It's the
Hashanah.
second day of Rosh Hashanah, and you go to temple both days generally.
Oh my goodness, I did not realize that. Okay, so next time we'll have to double check our calendar so that we don't coincide with any spiritual holidays. So I'm sorry about that, but because we could have done it a different weekend, but
I love your stuff. The next time you have one that's close enough to me to go, Santa Ana is. I'm going to do it, because if I do nothing else, I want to do these shows because they have a really great success for what you're charging for it, and you really advertise to bring in people because the place is just lots of people are attending.
Thanks so much, Terry. Yeah, I mean, we do. I mean, because if we have someone like you coming in, getting a booth, being a speaker, we want you to have the audience. We want you to have the traffic, and we want you to be coming back. And that's really what we see from our shows. Like most of our speakers, and vendors, everyone's just coming back, if they're able to make it, if they're available, they're like, I'll be there. And we want to make it an opportunity for the attendees. A lot of our attendees are new to this whole realm. Of course, you have some that have been on the spiritual path, have been to Conscious Life Expo and other types of events, but a large majority of our people, this event is the first type of event they're ever attending like it, and they love it.
I was surprised there were a lot of those people came up to my booth. What you have to offer here is apparently drawing any number of people. You're drawing very experienced hypnotherapists, coaches, and healers. You're also drawing people that are just starting and people that are new to the metaphysical field. And, I've got something for all of these different people. So it's very exciting for me to be at that show.
That's great. Well, hopefully you'll be in Pasadena with us at the end of the month. Okay, perfect.
When is the next Pasadena one?
It is September 30th, October 1st.
I believe I'm out of town. Maybe I can get out of that. I'm going to see if I can get out of that. I might be able to. If I can.
Okay, great. Keep me posted. We'd love to have you there. Your talks are always really successful, and people love them because you're not just talking the talk, but you're demonstrating to everyone exactly what it is that you do, and that brings a lot of value to people and gets them excited. So it's experiential, which is what we want this to be. I mean, all of this is an experience.
So that's September 30th and October 1st, huh?
Yes, exactly.
Maybe I can get out of this other thing. I might be able to.
Okay, great. So stay posted. And for those of you who, loved hearing from Terry here, on our show, definitely you can connect with her, acesuccess.com, 1-800-GOAL-NOW. Definitely go to her website and download that free meditation. She has other free meditations available there as well, and enter to win that drawing. There's so much that Terry is offering from all of her years of experience as both a successful coach, healer, hypnotist, guide, as well as a businesswoman and entrepreneur. So, that's very close to my heart, Terry, because I'm also a businesswoman and a spiritual entrepreneur. So, we're both here with that mission to support our spiritual entrepreneurs and building their businesses, building their practices, so we can all support the healing and transformation of the planet. That's what we're all doing here together.
That's right. Yes.
So thank you so much, Terry. It's been wonderful doing this interview with you, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you live, hopefully soon, at one of our next Southern California shows.
Thanks so much. And thanks for
Great.
having me.
Of course. We're so happy to have you. And to all of you watching, thank you so much for joining us today with Terry Brussel-Rogers of Success Center Incorporated. You can always find her on Soul Search as well as at her website, and you can reach her by phone. And she is one of our many incredible spiritual luminaries here to support you all in your own transformation, healing, and development. So thanks for tuning in. Make sure you connect with Terry, and we'll be seeing you guys again soon. Thank you so much. Bye.